Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Throw until you're out of sight and you're out of my mind. Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Floating as the river flows, easy as it goes to the ocean. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never try. Secrets in your eyes. You go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart, heart. Breaks my heart, 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 heart. Breaks my heart, 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 heart. Breaks my heart, heart, heart. Breaks my heart. Lost in the midnight blue, shadows of the moon. Here with open arms for you, feeling something so new. Said with me you'd reach the sun, oh but we were so young. Love me till the summer's done, but keep me in your heart, so I hold on. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never try. Secrets in your eyes. You go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart. Colors of the sky, breaks my heart. All I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. But all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. All I see is colors of the sky. All I see is colors of the sky. to the ground now, and somehow I feel like you don't know me. Shook me to the ground now, I don't even know how. Brought me to a life that you never showed me. Coming from a locked off ghost of yourself, but you're coming from the light. There's more to you than you ever thought there was. Yeah, you're coming from the light.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name is Resorty, and you, one and all, I say, hello friends, how's it going? Welcome in, hope you're doing super well today. It is a Monday my time, probably a Sunday your time. I hope things are going very, very, very well indeed. It's a pleasure to be here with you right as the stream begins, right as we get back to our Rimworld playthrough, playing that new expansion. Pretty excited about that. Hope you are too. Pepper, it's good to see you. How's it going, Axix? Welcome in, my friend. Forcom, welcome back. Hello, Height. Hello, Gelizar. Hello to Lost. Hello to Windsor and Odd Blue and everybody else. I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day to stop by and see old Resorty. Dark Druid, a pleasure, my friend. This is for you. Apparently doing squats for Dark Druid. I don't know why, but there you go. A few extra squats. Hello, my friends. All right. I did not stream yesterday. It was my weekend, my one-day weekend, which is always very, very enjoyable. We didn't do anything big and huge and exciting because it was Noms' birthday weekend. So let me say, first of all, thank you to everyone who sent little messages to Noms on Discord and chat here, wherever else, wishing her a happy birthday. She's very grateful for the kindnesses. Beyond that, we had a really nice time. As I mentioned on stream, I set up a little scavenger hunt for her around the house. Every time we're in a new house, I try to think about places to hide various gifts. And then on the day of her birthday, I get up at like 3:30 in the morning and sneak around the house, putting things here and there. I write little notes indicating that she needs to go check this place or solve this little puzzle to get the next item. And it's a really fun time. It's a fun time for me putting it together and a fun time for her to solve it. But every single year when it's done, I think, man, there's gotta be more places to hide stuff. What am I gonna do next year? But it was a good time. Definitely a good time to celebrate her birthday. We went to Denny's yesterday morning, as we often do, to read the newspaper and hang out. Had some tasty, tasty French toast, which is my weekly food. I tend to get French toast at Denny's every Sunday morning. It was not just like a good time. Nice time relaxing and sitting and talking, and it's cool to spend a day celebrating a person you care about. So that was yesterday for me. Other than that, the weekend was just grading some papers, doing some preparation for today's class. Speaking of classes, on Friday I had my students fill out their mid-semester evaluation. At the end of the semester, I am required by contract to have the students fill out a little form about how I did, what the troubles are, if they got anything on the class, etc. But it's common for instructors, and I definitely always do, this midterm evaluation where the students are invited to say, like, hey, what's working really well? Hey, what's not going so well? Etc. So we're able to make changes midstream instead of waiting for the end of the semester when I can't fix anything for them and can only improve on next semester. And so on Friday, they filled out these anonymous forms, which ask them, like I said, what's going well, what's not going so well, how the class compares to their other classes, and then is there anything else they'd like to tell me? And on the whole, the results were pretty good. Some students are just over the moon grateful with how I'm teaching. Some of the students use those over-the-top bits of praise, like my favorite class ever. Oh gosh, going to my head for sure. Can't quite deal with that. And I think the thing that I want to highlight that is the challenge of teaching at this school is there's such a divorce between the strongest students, who tend to be the ones who come from the U.S., and then the students who are locally grown, who just don't have the best English skills, and that's a challenge. And so the kind of feedback they offered on the one end was like, Parts of the class are too easy. You occasionally spend too long explaining one topic. I wish you'd move faster in lectures. On the other hand, this is all far too hard. It should all be just complete, non-complete rather than graded. You move too fast in lectures. You need to spend more time explaining what's happening in all of the readings, right? And so there's this divorce where I actually don't know what to do. It is not possible to satisfy both of those demands simultaneously. So I'll begin today's class by talking about the difficulty of this sort of blended classroom experience we have at this university, and I hope the students will understand. A couple of things I can change here and there. Many of them love group work, many of them hate group work. That's how it goes. Are the eval handwritten? They are. However, I don't know any of their handwriting. Thus far, the assignments they've turned in have been mostly typed. And I told them very clearly that if they're concerned about anonymity, there's an online form they could fill out instead. But no one availed themselves of that option. Instead, everyone hand wrote. I think one of the troubles with handwriting, of course, is that the student worries I might know who they are, but I think they believe me when I say that I don't know who they are, which is really true. I have no idea. The only thing to say, of course, is some of the students' writing was not super strong in English, and so I can assume that person is probably not a native speaker, but yeah, it was useful. How many drawings did I get? 3 students included little drawings on their feedback forms. My student who always draws the little frogs put 5 frogs on his. And so he absolutely destroyed the anonymity portion of this thing, unfortunately. Thoughtful Gaming, thank you for the follow, I appreciate it. I like your username. I'm into thoughtful gaming also. It's good to have you here. Hope life's going well for you. Beyond that, what do I have? Oh, the other thing that students included in their feedback forms. So I've mentioned in passing before class starts, some days, students will ask things like, "Hey, Professor Resorti, what'd you do this weekend?" Or, "Hey, tell me a hobby you like," trying to understand me as a person more so. And invariably, I mentioned video games, right? I do spend a lot of my life playing video games, and it's often a topic where the students and I can kind of mesh, because they're really into games too. They always want to talk about League of Legends, which is fine. I can talk that game. And I always mention the same thing when they ask, what games do you play? I say I play very boring stare at map games, but I do not play MMOs, right? I do not play MMOs because they will take over my life. So on 5 of the student evals in the "Are there other things you want to tell me" section, students wrote comments of the form, "Hey, you should check out this video game," which felt really, really nice. It felt like we had a bit of a human connection. However, 3 of the students said something of the form, "I know you don't play MMOs, but you might try insert MMO here." There was a lot of love for the Final Fantasy MMO, which, cool, I get it, but as I've told them before, this is like saying to an alcoholic, this scotch sure is good. So it was nice. Generally good feedback, generally good comments. As I've mentioned before, the class I'm teaching this semester is a required course, and so a lot of students dread it going in. It has a reputation as being the hardest class that's required of all students, and so I'm glad that for a lot of them I've managed to make it more palatable than otherwise. Fairness, it's good seeing you, my friend. Hello, Wolf, welcome in. Fleabum, hello, friend. Blue Moon, a pleasure. Red Wolf, hello. I know you don't like hard drugs, but you've tried cocaine. Exactly right, exactly what it is. I don't know. I don't want to use the language of I'm addicted to MMOs, but it's addictive-like behavior. The sense of satisfaction I get from achieving goals and having a little gold pop-up saying hey, look at you, you're a winner. It just feels too good. And knowing full well that I can get that if I just play another 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes more, and I'll complete another quest, and gold pop-up, look at me, I am the hero of Azeroth, right? It's too much for me. and so we don't play those games. Gregarious says, how many students do I have in my classes? Yeah, so this is what's labeled a writing intensive class, right? A writing intensive class, and so it's capped at a lower level than most courses. And the reasons for that is it's just hard to grade a bunch of papers if you have 50 students. So each of my sections is capped at 28. In one I have 29 because I admitted an extra student. In one I have 26, I believe. So somewhere around 50 students, a little bit over that. Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. The smallest class I've ever taught was a few schools back. I had a senior seminar class with 5 students, and that was really, really cool. Like, it led to some really nice conversations about difficult topics and engaging with like students who were really into the subject because they were senior majors. But those kind of super small classes only work if you have students who are very motivated, very interested, and very comfortable with the material. So it's a good size class. It's a class where I can still know the students as individuals, and they can hide in the crowd if they really want to. It's a nice balance between these things. Pop-ups I get in Rimworld are raids. Does it make me feel better? Yeah, I guess so. I will never get addicted to raids in Rimworld. The pop-ups in Rimworld make me feel bad, not good. Maybe it's this is the anti-MMO, perhaps. Perhaps. All right. Last thing to mention in the intro here is I have done something that has been requested for literally years. Possibly 4 or 5 years of requests on this one. And it's probably not of any interest to those who are here right now, but I will mention it so that you know it exists, and so you can help people if they want it. 4 or 5 years ago, I had a viewer say, "Hey Resorty, have you ever played Dark Souls?" And I said, yeah, we played it on stream. I died thousands of times. It was a really fun playthrough. And the viewer responded, play it again. I want to see it again. And I said, no. One Dark Souls playthrough, good for me, no concerns. And they then said, but I want to watch you play it. I want to see how you react to it. Do you have a place where you save your stream? The answer to that is no, or it was no until yesterday morning. So I finally got around to creating a second YouTube channel where I will do the least possible effort I can. I will download the stream and then upload the stream with no editing whatsoever. If I spend 20 minutes on stream going, well, let me tell you about the pants I'm wearing right now, that will be on YouTube. It will not be edited even a little bit. So because of that, I don't care how many subscribers I have there. I do not care about like positive feedback. No goodbye Resorty, thanks for the uploads. Does not matter. It's just there in case a viewer ever wants to see a playthrough that we have done after it's been deleted off of Twitch. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, feel free. If you want to, go hang out over there and like watch old VODs, awesome. But I'm putting all of my YouTube focus into the main channel, and I decided not to put the VODs on main channel because I don't want to confuse viewers. I very much want the things on main channel to be edited and thoughtful and like constructions I'm proud of, where this is like absolutely just the raw junk pile. So there you go. In the future, if a viewer comes in and says, Resorty, would you mind showing me your playthrough of whatever game? Please show them ! VODs, and that'd be very, very helpful. Thank you. Hello, Mick. It's good seeing you. Hello to Marks. Axis asks, is there an Elden Ring play on the docket? So my PS4 is now here, and the other day I saw a PS5 in the wild and almost bought it. But I didn't do so, unfortunately. I didn't do so. And yeah, the trouble is my current computer does not have a capture card. There's no way to connect the PS4 with the computer. I could remedy that by buying a capture card, of course. But I don't know. Like, I like Elden Rings a lot. I've played it a little bit off stream, but I just don't know how terribly good it is for streaming for me, because it is going to be weeks and weeks and weeks of me dying. Anyone who comes in and says, like, Resorty, you're not very good at this game, I will be saying, yes, that is true. It is the case that I'm not very good at this game. Oh, I could buy Elden Rings on PC? Is it on PC? I actually didn't know that. I think that I played Bloodborne on PS4, and I then assumed that all of the Souls games were locked to Sony. There's a Windows version. Cool. I just did not know that. I bought the copy and totally forgot. Totally forgot indeed. Hello to you, Humdrum. It's good to see you. I hope you have a great day also. Thank you. That feels like a big copy paste. Humdrum, it's good to see you. Thank you for the kindness. No worries at all. Very good, very good. All the Souls games do have PC now. Cool. No worries at all. I will definitely check out Elden Rings. I don't know. Right now, the problem is there are too many games that are coming out that I want to play. I do not know how we're going to get through all of them. The big issue, as many of you know, is on Tuesday of this week, right? In literally a day or two, the new Paradox game, Victoria 3, is coming out. And I can guarantee that in just a couple days here, we're going to get viewers saying, Resorty, why are you not playing Victoria 3? And I'm going to say, I got the issue of there being too many games. So my plan right now is to play nothing but Rimworld this week, like Rimworld all the way through. And then next week, we'll move on to Victoria 3. We'll also continue playing Rimworld on Rimworld Fridays. That's the plan. Now, if I'm really enjoying Rimworld come the end of this week, we might stay on it a little while longer. But no guarantees. I'm not sure. We'll see. Humdrum, thanks for the follow. I do appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Very, very generous of you for sure. You won't be playing Victoria 3, you'll be playing it yourself. Yeah, I get that. I know that some viewers want to experience content, new games, totally raw, all by themselves, without seeing a streamer offering feedback or tips on how to play or experiencing the depths of this and that. And I get that. So if you're here to watch things, awesome. If you're not, that's cool too. Groundhog asks, when I say Rimworld Friday, is that Thursday for the US viewers? No. So when I say Rimworld Friday, it's actually my Saturday morning. I get up Saturday morning, I drink my coffee, I then come play Rimworld. It is Friday night US time. I've got to find a better way to describe it, because I realize it is ambiguous when I say Rimworld Friday, when for me it's Saturday. Yeah, we'll figure out eventually. All right. Last thing, I saw a question earlier because I described the new YouTube VOD channel as being the stream junk pile. Am I saying that the streams on Twitch are junk? At times, yes. At times, yes, they are. Occasionally, streams are absolutely great. Like, we do very, very well. Occasionally, I forget what I'm talking about and just kind of stand here going, I would never put that on the main YouTube channel, right? Main YouTube channel, I record my script over and over and over again until I have like the pronunciation and cadence exactly right. In last YouTube video, I recorded one sentence like 12 times because I just could not get the shift from one word to the next right. The trouble was with the one sentence was in English, and then suddenly there was some Latin and then back into English again, and I could not get the switch correct. It was a disaster. So I tried very hard to make the YouTube videos good. Stream Biz, it's fine. I love Stream. Y'all enjoy Stream. It's very, very nice, but it is not polished even a little bit. Hey, Bad Beat Bill, good seeing you. I agree. It is nice when things go bad, and we can try to recover from harsh times in our video games. I don't think it's good content, though, when I stand here and go, what's the word I'm thinking of? It's not great. Lord Real Commander, good seeing you. Are we doing Caravan in Rimworld this time? No, at least I don't intend to. The playthrough we started on Friday in Rimworld has us just building one base in one place. I can talk more about that in just a second. Closer asks, will you get a pants cam? No, no. I was watching another Rimworld streamer last night, and it was really striking. He had 3 or 4 different cameras going at once. And occasionally, when he wanted to, like, make an intimate aside to chat, he would turn like this to a camera here that was very, very close to him and say things like, "You know what I mean?" And it felt nice. Like, it felt like a well-produced moment of content. However, I don't know how one plans ahead for that. Like, I have enough trouble remembering to look at the camera instead of looking down here all the time. And so he had all these cameras at different distances, and he really used them effectively to like add a certain tone or vibe to the channel. Now, the idea of having a camera that shows my legs, no, that's weird. I do remember, though, a streamer I used to watch years ago, who is no longer streaming, always had 3 cameras going. And like, one was his face, the standard Twitch streamer cam. One was his keyboard and mouse, so you could see how you push the buttons, etc. And then one was his full body from behind. And I have no idea why he had that third one. He was not like showing off his physique in any meaningful way. I think he wanted to show off like what the stream was from his side of things, which was kind of cool. Like, it was neat to see, like, oh, he has 3 monitors. Oh, his microphone's at this angle in this position. But after like the initial moment of seeing how it was set up, it just, oh well. Not to speak ill of other streamers, but you know. Hello Zod, you're new here, you just watched the My Worst Moment in Rimworld video. Awesome, awesome. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's good to have you here. Hope things are going well for you. And yeah, I'm glad that video has served its purpose of driving viewers from YouTube to Twitch. Awesome to see you, friend. Awesome to see you. Klaus, is good seeing you. Camera angle to be used in this channel is the cat cam. Yeah, so once upon a time, I lived in a, oh Zad, you come in, you say nice things, you then subscribe? Thank you, my friend. That's very, very nice of you. I appreciate the heck out of it. I promise we'll get to the video gaming very, very soon. But totally awesome of you to share the Prime sub with our channel. Thank you, friend. Thank you. I was mentioning, though, the cat cam. Once upon a time, I lived in a very, very, very cold apartment. And because it was very, very cold, the cats loved to sleep up against the computer, as it was probably the warmest thing in the apartment. At the time, I was a graduate student. That's not true. At the time, I was a postdoctoral fellow, making very little money, and so I couldn't afford a nice apartment. And so the poor cats like huddled against the computer, trying to stay warm. The nice thing about this, I could then take a camera and point it at the cats, and they would be able to show up live on stream. And you all enjoyed that back then. However, I now live in a well-insulated house, and it never gets that cold. So, unfortunately, the cats have engaged in a certain trade-off. On the one hand, they could get more heat in here. Cats love heat, no problems. On the other hand, they have to sit here or sleep here, listening to me blather on in a fairly loud voice for 4 or 5 hours at a time. And the cats want nothing to do with that. So occasionally I'll come into the stream room and see the cat sleeping, and then start the starting music, start the timer countdown. About the time I say, all right, good evening, everybody, right? That kind of thing, they stand up, they run away. So no more cat cam. Long story short, that is that. I scare my cats on the daily. I feel very bad about that. Quick welcome back. It's good to see you again. I'm glad to be streaming tonight also. It's very, very good to be here. Unfortunately, I do have to teach in just an hour and a half. So I should probably stop with the blathering and get to the gaming. This will be our second day of playing this new Rimworld playthrough, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how it goes. This new playthrough has made me feel certain kinds of feelings that I have never felt in Rimworld before. I'm in the process right now of making a YouTube video about those strange new feelings. What do they mean? Will I grow out of them? Etc, etc. So here's our base. Thus far we only have the tiniest little bit of playtime here. I'll tell you the story so far. We began in a crash-landed colony with these 3 colonists. They're not related in any meaningful sense, except for the fact that they are from the same crash-landed experience. Zelion and Fernanthus are very different adult characters. Zelion is a caring and loving person, very good at doctoring and cooking and growing, all the standards, care for the base kind of things. Unfortunately, she is so focused on empathy, care, and love that she is completely nonviolent. She does not understand how you can love the world of growth, etc., and also fight people. So, she is in one respect very, very, very useful, and in another absolutely useless. Cool. The second character, sort of the inverse of Zelion, namely Fernanthus. Fernanthus is incapable of caring or cooking. So two of the things that Zelion is so strong at, Fernanthus just has no time for it. Because Fernanthus is sort of a stereotypical macho kind of person. Good with the hammer and saw, a little bit smarter than the rest of us, and does believe in combat. I wanted this character to be slightly better at combat because these are middling scores. They're not strong, especially in the early game. This is kind of dangerous. But these two characters together, Zelion and Fernanthus, have crash-landed and said, well, we'll make the best of our symmetrical skills. You're good at this, I'm good at that. Let's make it work. Unfortunately, as they crash-landed, they realized they weren't alone. Smashing down here was a little box, a little child inside of it. Mr. Board Games is not their child. Apparently, the child was Duster Dustin. I thought, I've said so far, that the family of Mr. Board Games was killed in the crash. But turns out the father is still alive and is part of another faction. Now, Mr. Board Games does not love that. And to avoid the possibility of Mr. Board Games saying, I want to go back to my dad, wow, we're never telling him. He must believe we are his only family now, so he contributes to the cause instead of wanting to go back to his father. That's how we think about these things. Yeah, what rank is this guy? Apparently he's just an average colonist in the Empire. I don't believe it's nobility. Though, with that said, we did give our first nobility perk, our first nobility trait, psychic power, whatever you want to call it, to Mr. Board Games. So Mr. Board Games, a child we intend to raise as the ruler of this place. I also intend to make him good at mechs. I think he will be the character that develops mechs and functions as our mech janitor, mechanitor. Be great. Last time we had some struggles, we had some troubles. A cougar tried to eat the child, but so far, no real damage taken, and the base has begun nicely. With that said, there's one change to the game I'd like to make, and instead of doing it over on offline, I decided I would talk to you all about it. Mr. Board Games is currently 5 years old. Mr. Board Games began at 4 years old. The default setting for children growing... Wait, where is it? Storyteller settings. Oh, can I not change it? If I go over to custom, I think I can. Yeah. So, what I want to talk about is this one right here. How fast do children age? So, though it's the case that in the base game setup, adults age 1 year in the time of 1 year. So every 4 seasons, adults gain 1 year of age. Children gain 4 years of age inside of 1 year. So every single month that ticks by, the kid gets 1 year older. Now, as you recall from last time's discussion, the children have like growth events when you choose their particular perks and such. At age 7, age 13 maybe, and age 17 maybe. Something like that. There are 3 particular points. And so the question is, do we want those to happen fairly quickly? The kid grows up in only 4 or 5 in-game years, or do we instead want to let it go a little bit more slowly? Do we want to feel more like the natural development of the base? Now, if we do that, we need to be kind of invested in this playthrough for quite a while. or else our child will be forever a child. And that's okay. Do you have any strong feelings about this? Or is it just a, do I decide on my own? Now I'm curious, can I maintain my settings and just modify that? I can. We're playing on Blood and Dust, the second from top. 4 years in Rimworld's a long time. That's true. That's true. I don't remember exactly how long our last playthrough lasted. I think it was close to 10 years, maybe 8 years, but it was definitely a substantial time. Also, I'm always amazed when I watch other streamers of Yield Rimworld, how they take this threat scale and go all the way up to 500%. Just not for me. Space Jam and you're enjoying a 100% child growth rate. Jim, you do like it faster. All right, this is one of those cases where I'm not going to make everyone happy, of course. We could try to like split the baby in half. Don't worry, not literally. We like the baby the way he is. And go to 200% instead. What's the fastest rate? Is it 500 also? 600%. All right. Let's try 200. So the kid will grow 2 years in every year. Welcome back to my teaching reviews. Why can't I make everyone happy? All I want to do is to make things perfect for everyone. Why is that too much to ask? Do 100% growth for 1 month and 600 the next. Just switch back and forth constantly. We're going to try the 200% so we're able to definitely see the mech stuff eventually. And also so that we're able to enjoy the experience of the kiddo growing up instead of having done snap like that. Now, for various reasons, I believe strongly that the middle position is not always the right position. But in this case, I like the idea of 200%. Also, these are nice little markers here. I appreciate that these are in the game, where your babies will not get sick, mothers can't die in childbirth. Considering turning that one on, no children allowed at all, and you can turn child raiders on. This one just feels too bad. This one feels way too bad. In the current YouTube video, I've been thinking about the ways in which different games deal with the inclusion of children for the sake of realism. Like Grand Theft Auto, no kids. Fallout, kids, but they're absolutely invulnerable, etc., etc., etc. It's interesting where Rimworld decided to put things. Like, on the one hand, yes, there are kids in the game and they can die. However, they won't come and try to kill you. It's interesting. It's a good choice to allow the player the choice. I believe that pretty strongly. And then lots of other things you can change if you want to. No infestations allowed. We'll leave everything else just as it is. So it's going to be a Blood and Dust playthrough. However, children will come to adulthood a little slower. Good. Thank you for talking about that with me. I appreciate it. Is that all we're going to talk about? Is that it? I think that's it. So I don't quite recall what we were doing last time. I don't fully recall what my goals were. I mean, obviously it seems to be the case that we are building a dining room here. And it is the case that some of my crops are going bad in the field. So let's check out our work queue here and see what is what. Farazelion is in charge of growing, but is cooking first. And that might be the trouble, as there are bits and pieces to cook with. Not that much food left. So let's check the kitchen here. And see what the job is. One, I have 10 meals made. So presumably at this point, Zelion is bouncing back and forth between doing growing and cooking based on if they're available kinds of food. Also, this little fennec fox we have spoils in 23 hours. So, Fair Zelion, I would like you to please butcher. The new edition of children in this game, one nice thing about kids is they do hauling and cleaning. So for so long as you have a child about, there's not terribly much else they can do, but they do consistently knock out the hauling and cleaning. Their main job is to learn, and apparently the more learning they have throughout their life, their childhood, the closer and closer to high-tier traits one gets. Better upbringing, better traits is how I understand it. So we can see here that Mr. Board Games, learning skills at 75%, or learning need is that met. So I'm curious to see how much higher we can get this. as right now, Mr. Board Games would like to learn at the desk there, and there comes Zelion to do that. And Mr. Board Games would also like to go watch the sky, sitting in a flat place outside. That'll be nice. Can kids use weapons? Yes. So initially, we gave Mr. Board Games a knife as his Boy Scout knife that would be used to whittle sticks and, I don't know, like some very playful tasks with a knife. And then eventually, Fernanthus, our soldier, stood with Mr. Board Games outside of the stockpile and gave Mr. Board Games a firm talking to about gun safety. And now Mr. Board Games has a pistol, a revolver actually, and so far he has killed one creature with it. That fennec fox we just chopped apart was actually his first kill, and that felt very nice. Nice that he's contributing to the cause now. We have here our very first little paddock for animals. We have 2 animals that are currently part of our team beyond the dog. And Manchu, the dog here, is absolutely loyal and keeps Mr. Board Games safe. We're starting to build a petting zoo for the animals though, and so this little paddock here is for our goat named Nanny, who will also give milk to ensure that the child grows up healthy and does not get early osteoporosis. Glorious. Now, the boomalope, I don't know what we're gonna do. We're probably gonna have the boomalope go to a farm in upstate, most likely. Who's in charge of handling the animals? Hey, it's Zelion, who does literally everything in this base. And Fernanthus is currently knocking out more bricks. We appreciate that. The only research done so far are batteries. As time goes by, we'll do more research for sure, but I want to do tree sowing next in particular, because on this biome, which is an arid shrubland, there aren't that many trees. In part because we got alpha beavers really, really early, and we've been trying to fight the alpha beavers bit by bit as they come to separate more. But as right now, they're all together, and there's no way I can fight 3 alpha beavers at the same time. However, a bunch of steel we should get that hauled in for sure. All right. Fernanthus is outside. It's raining terribly. Are you going to do a good job with that lovely little table? It's good. It's good quality. Well done, my friend. Thank you for making a nice little base for us. However, interesting pop-up just then. Our nutrient paste meals went bad in storage. It was kind of warm in there, of course. So that means we have literally no food right now. That is not ideal for a growing boy. Let's go ahead and early harvest just a little bit. Anything we can. Cool. And we'll make just a few meals real quick. All right, I need you to stop with the siphoning, milking. I don't know what to call the removal of fuel from a beast like that. So with that stuff, you should be able to get cooking now. And today we really need to get our freezer going. We got to get our dining room going. We got to do a lot of things. All right, children do not eat rice. We're going to have our cook throw the food on the ground. We then also do want to get the veggies and such moved up here. So for the moment, this is not a long-term solution. We're just going to have a stockpile zone here of raw food entirely. And then we take in there so the cook doesn't need to run back and forth quite so much. Along with the table, we need a couple chairs. And all these chairs are being made out of just limestone blocks. More and more and more blocks upon which to sit. Where's the stool? There it is. Now, one thing I've noticed about the recent upgrades, the recent expansion here, is that there are so many items as the game starts in each of the menus here. It is the case that the developers have split out ideology, split out biotech a little bit. But when you pull up furniture, this is so much stuff. Have I tried using shelves yet? I haven't. Actually, as stream ended last time, I said explicitly that the one major defect of my playthrough so far is that I have not made a single shelf. So I should go ahead and put some shelves inside of my little stockpile here, just so it looks nicer. Because, yeah, right now I'm just doing the giant pile on the floor strategy, and that's just not great. So I swear, I promise we will make at least one shelf today, and perhaps more than that. R squared, how's it going, my friend? Welcome in, happy Sunday. All right. A group of wasters are coming on down, preparing for a while, and then attacking. It is a group of just one waster. This is the kind of fellow who needs psychite all the time, and the kind of person who is quite comfortable inside of toxic hellscapes of pollution. Have a little trap line around the base. It's not especially strong. I'm trusting that dear old Fernanthus can hopefully fight fiercely. Now, very awkwardly, we have a mad boom rat, which is, is fine. These things happen. But it's right outside the base. While the calm is asleep, an animal comes wanting to consume them. Now, it is, I was gonna say it's rainy. It's not rainy, it's foggy instead. Probably worth giving that the old shoot real quick. So let's send Fahrenheit's out. Boy, wake up. I hear noises outside. You and me against the world. Ride or die. Apparently Fahrenheit is now a, is now a biker. I wish I had a good meleeer here. Unfortunately, we do not have one, so we're not going to be able to use the door to hold the animal in place while other people shoot. The dog should go in and attack it once Mr. Board Games takes some damage here. Hey, it's already going. Tanking animal, best animal. No longer tanking. Therananthus begins taking damage once more. Get Mr. Board Games. Oh gosh. So, number one, everything's fine. No death, no problems. Number two, I forgot the boom rats explode. Like, it's right there in the name. It says boom rat. I should have had Mr. Board Games disengage. Anyway, everyone's on fire. This is fine. This is fine. How did it die? Manchu, the dog, scratched it with their claw, tearing it all apart. Good job, folks. Hopefully we don't get any infections from these, I don't know, first-degree injuries, whatever they are. Send our characters to bed now. This is a case where we can heal them up with no real medicine. The dog needs a little spot to hang out in to heal on up. And I think no one is damaged so much that it's an emergency. No immediate danger. Wait, this feels different than it used to. Was some change made to bouncing between characters? It feels much snappier than before, and I don't quite know why. Yeah, I hate when I feel something is different in the game but can't fully express what it is. Hey, we have a raid going also. I forgot about that part. The raider is melee, correct? Yeah, good. The camera is now panning them instead of jumping. Oh, is that what it is? Okay. Oh! That may be it. That's nice. That's a very, very nice change. Like, it's not a major change, not even like quality of life change. It just looks attractive for sure. Can we get these characters at least plugged up before the raider gets here? Plugged up, glorious. Take care of the kiddo also. Wait, really? So, this is the second time this has happened on this map. This is the best thing ever. So once again, the cougars who want to hunt my child also are perfectly fine hunting raiders. That's great. Thank you, Cougar. I believe it's the exact same Cougar that ate a person last time. Yep, Cougar versus Smog, Cougar versus Skullpank. So we're not getting any, we're not getting any combat experience because the Cougar is doing literally all of it. Awesome. All right, Zillion, it's 7 a.m. Rise and shine. Everybody, back to work y'all go. That is very silly. That's very, very silly. I do enjoy when Rimworld gives us experiences like that one. What's this? Oh, that's a child drawing on the floor. That's what we're seeing there. That's fine. Can you tame the cougar? In principle, you can. Yeah, it's absolutely possible to tame cougars. However, when you try to tame them, there's a 30% chance of failure. It's one of those cases where you have to be in melee range to tend, or not tend, to handle rather. And if they don't like it, they then very, very quickly attack you. Now, the minimum handling skill for cougars is... what is it? Is an 8. I believe right now our best handler is a 1. So maybe someday we'll get to that. Maybe. But today's not that day, unfortunately. Well, fair enough, that's what we're doing. We're researching. Okay. I said I do want tree sowing, but I want a dining room finished first. So I'm going to have Beloved Fairnanthus move on up on crafting for now and do research after that. Now, construction is also job 1. So as Fairnanthus finishes with the stones being created, they'll then go and construct as soon as they can. We'll do the chairs first, and then we'll do the walls after that. Hey, Rexzoodle, how's it going? Good seeing you. And hello to you, Zaplinator. Yeah, I don't know the goal for this playthrough yet. I'm really excited to find out what ends up working. I'm excited to see how the story develops. But I did not start this playthrough with a preordained goal in the way I often do. I think later in an expansion, the more I'll know what the possibilities are, what's fun. But for right now, I'm totally comfortable saying I'm just going to play it as it comes. How the stool's looking, good quality. Very proud of you, Fernanthus. Noticing my stockpile here of limestone is empty. Where is there more limestone? Out here? Cool. Get this hauled in gradually. Now, you will recall my earlier comment that the child is the main hauler. Unfortunately, the child's only allowed to be in this little area here. Because I was worried about him getting eaten, so someone else will have to do that hauling in, and it may unfortunately be Fairnanthus one more time. Zillion's going to bed at 7 p.m. What's your schedule? Oh, so I never actually completed the schedule. I want to give them some hours where they must work, or else they will, unfortunately, go to sleep at midday. So we're just going to say, for right now, at midday you must be laboring. And we'll do one more hour beyond that. Cool. What's the boomlope with a string? That is a boomlope that has been captured. It is loyal to us. I don't expect it's going to live very long, especially if it eats crops out of my field. Then I'm guaranteed to kill it. But yeah, it randomly tamed itself, randomly joined the base, and yeah, that's fine. That's fine, but I'll give it a name to hopefully preserve it from being eaten a little while longer. So, Boomlope friend, your name is going to be, I don't know. We'll add a child's naming of it. We'll call you Mr. Pow Pow. Perfect. Is that what a 7-year-old would name, or 5-year-old name things? I think it might be. Call it Exxon Mobil. All right, look here. The world is cruel and terrible. We don't need the child to know about corporate greed destroying the environment. I like Mr. Pow Pow. We're going to stay with that for now. Good quality, and good quality. Hey, well done, Fernanthus. So much excellent work there. Are you still in pretty bad shape? Yeah, a little bit burned. You're doing fine. Clearly we need to get some kind of defensive structure up front eventually. The little traps are okay, but eventually we will have raiders who do shoot. We'll hold off on that for a little while. And then we're going to go ahead and mark... Not quite yet. I was going to say we'll mark all these walls to be done, but I'd like to have this stool done first. Actually, we have 3 characters and 3 stools. We don't need that one. So time to allow the building of the dining room. The floor making, everybody will be pretty happy, and that's nice. A little bit of dirt in there. I do wonder if it's fair to expect the child to do all the cleaning. Like, on the one hand, I can say, like, oh, this is terrible. Child workers, child labor. Don't you put your fingers into the factory machine, please. But also, it's really nice having him pitch in around the place. That's how we're talking about it. The chores you do, Mr. Board Games. are for the greater good of us all. And this is how you pitch in. You show that you're a valuable member of the team. That's what we'll say. That seems good. Though it is very strange when the kids awake at midnight or 4 a.m. running around doing work while everybody else is sleeping. I guess we can set a bedtime, force them to sleep, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Resewing is not occurring. Why is Zillion? Currently having a little rest out in the rain. Glorious. Yeah, the trouble is that cooking and growing are both full-time jobs, and so insofar as Zellion's needing to also take care of the kid, it's just hard getting all the full-time jobs done. So when you're done with that, I'd like you to go plant some crops for the goat to eat. And that means you have to go off of cooking for a moment to do the growing. Awesome. Unfortunately, the one bit of grass in there for the goat is not grown well enough to eat. So I have to take the animal outside at some point. Oh, you're not even doing that yet. You're animal handling first. Yep. There are lots of bases where I say having a fourth colonist would help so much. None more so than this one. So our third colonist is unfortunately useless. Unfortunately. Last chair, good quality also. So yeah, Fahrenheit has made everything good here. And that's really, really, really nice. I'm going to move the butchering table up to where the freezer will be eventually. Just to save us from doing that later. And I wish I made the kitchen slightly wider so I could put the butcher's table lined up against the kitchen. And still put it there, and that's alright. This stockpile zone is the one for my animal corpses. I'm going to go ahead and put that next to it instead. Like so. And I haven't quite determined the distinction between large corpse and small corpse. It's a new addition in this expansion, and I don't quite know that. We'll figure out eventually. Animal corpses go there, only fresh ones. We'll give it a roof sooner or later. You need a school desk so the kid can learn skills. Yep, that's right there. The one thing the kid can learn at this age is social, and they're the best social character in the base right now. They are learning from some relatively inept people how to care for others. At this point, at age 5, all the other skills are locked, so they can't learn anything about them. I think when they reach 7, some start unlocking, but just not quite yet. When I say socially inept, I really mean it. Like, Zellion has social skill of 2. Mr. Board Games has a social skill of 3. Fahrenheit has, actually 4. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that Fahrenheit is the highest there. I gave the kid a gun, a nice child soldier. Not a child soldier. It's a dangerous world on the rim. So far, Mr. Board Games is only allowed to use his gun while being supervised by Fahrenanthus. At this point, it's not a toy. They had a very, very serious speech about how this gun is a tool like any other tool. You wouldn't just swing your hammer around randomly, so don't use the gun randomly either. And that's been making me feel okay about what I've done here. We do need additional trees. I need more wood to just finish this door. Now, as before, the problem with animals, or with trees, is there are only 2 alpha beavers left. Ho ho ho! Who helped me out here? The Phoenix Fox killed an alpha beaver. One is here. Where is the other one? Wait, really? Where's their alpha beaver? Are they really spread out now? Other one's up there. Okay. We can fight the alpha beavers and not have them both revenge. It is time for us to clear alpha beavers after I go find one tree. Zillion, please go cut that down. There's so few trees left. It's kind of sad, actually. Have you haul it on in. We can imagine Fahrenheit is demanding more and more and more wood. Zillion's have a bad time. Yeah, that impressive bedroom is a goal. It's just not an immediate goal. Something in the cold. They've mentioned sleeping in the cold a few times. It doesn't get that cold inside of this room, right? It's not a mountain roof, is it? It's all constructed roof. So it does not count as a mountain tile at all. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Not quite sure why that's cold. We could put a heater in eventually, but it is 26C. That feels like a nice room temperature to me. That is done. Glorious. So we can begin to build some lights in here also. And for right now, we'll just throw them down the corner there and there. Probably put a door here to match that one and here to match that one, but for right now, it's okay. We have no finished meals. I took Zellion off of cooking for sure. Get them back on that soon. Endless microwing, unfortunately. Well, we have so many fields and food needed as well. One thing I could do is to lower the number of meals where we start cooking again. Because right now it's at 0, unfortunately. So that seems potentially better. And we put cooking back as job 1 and see if it all gets done. Current quality of the dining room is genuinely awful. Lack of floors is the biggest issue, of course. Let's go and check the ruins here and see if there's anything worth getting in them. I want to take the child to the Rimworld. To the Rimworld, sorry. Child, come to the Rimworld. Mission accomplished. Now, I want to take the child to the ruins, perhaps in hopes of sparking an interest in archaeology and history and all that ancient loveliness. Oh, this is a good one here. This is a good one here. It has that lovely little urn, so we'll definitely get that going soon. And bring that urn down to make our dining room a little more attractive. We're going to have Fernanthus and Mr. Board Games go up north to hunt that alpha beaver and see if we can also get that urn and see some fun things. Currently 3 a.m. A little later today we'll do that. And yeah, I guess flooring in here pretty soon will be good. Flooring around the base, just to have a path to move a little faster would be nice as well. As of right now, we're totally fine on power, but that's probably not going to be true forever. Go ahead and put in our path around the base. Our only kind of rocks right now are limestone, which is fine. Eventually I might want a different color of stone around here, but for the moment, I like these. Oh, also, hate the raid, but also, I said that I was going to make a shelf. So I will say this now. If we survive this raid, I will immediately make a shelf. Do you believe me? Am I speaking true this day? If you want to doubt me, I would not be surprised. The Filth Band are coming. They're going to avoid my traps. Hello, Filth Band. Do we believe that you will safely get to base before the cougar eats you? Where's that cougar? Where's that cougar? I think it's when managed to escape the wrath of the cougar. Perhaps. Can you do a channel bet on whether I'll build a shelf? I mean, if I make an actual bet, I will definitely do it, but we'll see. Time to go fight. Good morning, Fernanthus. I know you want to eat, but no. Boy, where are you? Boy, it's time to put your mettle to the test. Mr. Board Games follows along. This field's our field. This food's our food. We don't let anybody take this food. But Fernanthus, Papa, the person seems hungry. Their hunger is their problem. But Mama Zellion says that we should care for everyone. And the way you care for them is by putting them out of their misery. Oh boy. Okay, fine. I was very glad to see there that Zenita, they're pivoted north to go to Fernanthus. I was somewhat concerned they would come right at Mr. Board Games. Also, here comes the puppy dog. There we go. Well done. I actually think I saw a headshot there from the child. Mr. Board Game's revolver bullet pierced Zenitia's left eye. Wow. So actually, factually, Mr. Board Game knocked the character down. What kind of person are you? Your person who's missing an eye due to the child. Dies in 3 hours. Alright, so you can imagine the waster here writhing on the ground having a terrible time. Where's my psychite? Get me my medicine. Etc, etc. I mean, having a plants person would be very nice. Supermoon Brawler, amazing, but the psychite dependency, like as a metagame move, is just not going to happen. So, figuring out this turns Mr. Board Games. You did a good thing today. That's some mighty fine shooting. One of these days, you're going to be a fine shot. Today you got lucky, kid. Now let's speak a little bit more about luck. That useless heap on the ground there, not lucky today. Did not make a good choice of where to go. So, time to show them when their luck's run out. You do what you gotta do here. I don't want to. I'm not interested in killing. Oh, it's kill or be killed out here on the rim. You get shooting. Oh boy. Let's figure out this help, since the kid is crying, holding his revolver in both hands, every shot knocking him back on his heels. Good job. I'm proud of you. Maybe tomorrow I won't be, but today I am. Fine. This is the kind of place where, to teach the child well, Zelion insists that we bury our enemies. We're gonna start a little grave out and about. Always visit graves to gain meditative joy. This targeting reticle thing, this aura marker, is new. I've not seen this before. I can imagine it being one of two things. The first thing could be like, in this area is where they're able to like see the grave and get their meditative joy. More likely, I imagine this is a reminder of death. A meditatio mortem. Oh, it's grave meditation focus or psi? Oh, is it? Okay. I haven't played nearly enough of Royalty and Ideology. Alright, so it's not going to be like, we're all very sad there's a grave nearby. Death is forever with us. It's okay. Just outside the city, we'll have a little graveyard. I'm trying to think longer term about how this base is going to build out. We may want this eventually, so just out here in the robot graveyard will also be a graveyard for the fallen. Mr. Board Games, you get your shovel, you get helping. So I know eventually the children will come and watch people do work, but not today. Board Games, you put that thing in the afterlife, now you're going to put it in the ground. You're allowed to walk freely, fetch that body. Are you actually able to bury people really and sincerely? Come along, mister! I have no idea how a 5-year-old is carrying an adult body. What's done is done. Good job, kiddo. Kid goes back into his zone, safe and happy once more. Zelion, what you doing? Trying to teach a lesson. Yeah, man. So it really is the case that the childcare job takes a tremendous amount of time. We could take Zelion off of that, but like my real goal is to make the child big and happy if I can. So, social of 4. Getting close for Mr. Board Games, the greatest social character we have. Polite, decent, friendly, all the rest. Grumpy Old G, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. For some reason, my follower pop-up is not happening today, and I don't quite understand why. But if you follow today, hello, it's good to have you here. Edgar, thank you. I think that one actually worked. Yeah, for some reason, some of them have not been working at all. That's kind of annoying. I briefly worried we had no food, but we actually do have quite a bit of food just sitting on the floor there. Oh, you know what I did? I definitely treated this like not my freezer. This is going to be my freezer. Oh, speaking of building things, you thought I forgot. You were ready to go, ha ha ha, Resorty. Never remembers anything he's doing. Nope. Look, friends, it is time for the first shelf. First shelf of glory. I want them in the freezer eventually, but just for right now, let's make some in the stockpile room. That's nice. That's really nice. Fairness, come do that, please. So, what's amazing about these shelves is they now hold 6 stacks. 6 stacks. So much more efficient than ever before. Hey, Room on DVD, it is awesome to see you. In celebration of the shelf, a Prime sub. Thank you. Thank you. I'll forever think of this shelf right here as the Room on DVD shelf. It's good to have you here, friend. Thank you for the kindness. And Grumpy LG, very cool to have you here too also. I know people tend not to mind if they don't get shoutouts for follows, but I try to be welcoming. You know how it goes. I did it. Alright, so looks like the game auto sets everything can go there except for corpses. Oh, this is a change. Colonist corpses can no longer go on shelves. So one of the old bits of fun that a lot of people did was put shelves inside the freezers and then put colonist bodies on the shelf to hide how disgusting they look. That's interesting. And by leaving it in the freezer, you can then make it available for resurrection down the road. Yeah, probably a good change. The idea of keeping little Timmy on a shelf does not feel nice at all. Eventually, I will organize this stockpile better. I'll definitely have some sort of like, this should go here, this should go there. But for right now, just throwing it all together is fine. Like I said, though, I did screw up a bit here by not thinking where the freezer was going to go. So, just going to make one like that for now. I feel kind of small. Like that for now, I guess. Now, I want to continue using wood for doors. It just looks so nice. So we will do that. We'll have one that's right on the fields. And then one that goes out that way. A caravan's approaching. Go buy and sell and trade. Hopefully they teach little Mr. Board Game some nice things about nice things. Shelves make for a smaller freezer. That's a very good point. No longer need the giant pile of meat that takes up every single slot all at once. Also, I keep forgetting just how close to the map's edge we are down here. I would not be surprised if this is the thing that ends the playthrough. We're not going to have much time to respond to certain kinds of raids. We'll see. We'll see. This freezer, I'm going to say, is acceptable size. We'll see if it actually is. And speaking of freezers, we need to have an AC unit. We can't just call it a freezer without actually making it into one. Awesome. Might need a second AC unit later in the summer, but for now we're good. Hey, Zabang, it's good seeing you. Hello. A second shelf. Oh, look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? I don't know how this makes me feel, other than very good. It is so cool seeing so many items in such a small spot. Yeah, because often in later game bases, as many of you know, we'd end up with these massive storerooms that really is just, here's all of my garbage thrown on floors. This allows storerooms to be smaller, and they look better organized also. That's pretty darn cool. Making me happy for sure. Also very excited to have the one size shelf, small shelf, which I will use down here to put our medicine in this very strange little room that is hospital and research room and crafting room simultaneously. Eventually will be other things, I promise. Of our 3 characters, Zelyon's having the worst time because they want that impressive bedroom so badly. It's unfortunate. All this cloth going bad outside. We have to make clothes for children also in this playthrough. It's one of these new changes that you're not just able to put any kinds of clothes on anybody. Instead, kiddos get little kiddo clothes. Also, in that Mr. Board Games is the best social character in the base, they should probably do the trading for us. Now, as I say that, how ridiculous is it to imagine the child going up to the trader and saying, can I buy a component? Can you give me a rifle? Daddy wants cigarettes. That sort of thing. But apparently there's no penalty for children trading, and that really surprises me. Exactly. Wants to buy games and Doritos. Alright. We don't have that much cash. It's fairly early game still. I spent quite a bit of cash on buying this goat earlier. ABC, always buy components most likely. So these gene packs are new. A small capsule containing a package of genetic material, information rather. To use a gene pack, it must be placed in a gene bank near a gene assembler and gene combined into a gene implantable gene xenogerm. If not kept in a powered gene bank, it will slowly deteriorate. So pain dull, kind instinct. Kind instinct. I wonder if that means that it guarantees the kind trait on any character who has it. It did lower pain also. Then mild instability leads to the gene mild instability. Can I see what that is? View mild cell instability. Carriers of this gene need less metabolic energy to stay alive at the cost of reduced stability in their cell replication machinery. Huh. Okay. So, you eat less food. However, things look pretty bad if you get cancer. And you're going to die early. Interesting trade-off. Very interesting trade-off. I see how this would be useful for, like, I don't know, super soldiers or something. So you have to feed them less often. But this seems monstrous to do to our child. And the other one was pain dull. Eventually we'll know all these, I'm sure. But for right now, super curious. Reduced pain. Carriers of the gene feel half as much pain compared to a baseliner. Reduced neuron activity in the brain's nociception? 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 I don't know. Centers make pain dull and faint. It's going to be advantageous sometimes and dangerous other times. So it's kind of sort of like the tough one, where your character will take more and more damage for falling down, but when they fall down, they may be very close to dead. Also, metabolic efficiency is down by 1, so presumably needs to eat more food. Interesting. We'll probably do a gene-based playthrough at some point. I don't think we're going to do anything but the baseline genes this time, which I believe that some characters can, through biological reproduction, pass along certain kinds of genes. Now, I don't know if our baseliners will mutate and develop genes, or if you have to have them explicitly on a character to pass them on. We'll find out for sure. Okay. So those look cool. We don't want to buy them. I'm probably just going to buy components. Fancy leg would be very awesome, but gosh, a lot of money. Also, the side trainers, super fun. We can start having a child learn more abilities, but for now, we're good. All right. We have 200 money, buy just a few components. We have nothing to sell yet. So thank you for the trade. Appreciate your time. All right. As much as I would like to put just giant stockpiles in here, I think for right now I'll start using even more shelves. Now, as we put in more shelves, I realize right away that we need to be careful. We only have so much in the way of room and so much in the way of stones also. I'm going to forbid building the paths for right now and just focus on getting all this up. Good. Where are you going, Faranthus? Oh, you know what I said? I said I wanted to kill some alpha beavers, and that did not happen. So I see Faranthus going north. Let's try to make that happen now. One is waiting right there. That's great. Oh, Carlos, should you plant corn? In the long run, yes. Corn's amazing for the amount of food it gives per tile. It just takes a very, very, very long time to grow, especially by comparison with rice. So my standard farm is, if I want food immediately, rice. Longer term, potatoes are a good adjacent food, as they grow a little bit slower but give a decent amount of nutrition also. Corn is the long-term great one, but it can only grow efficiently and you stay alive if you have the other ones planted too. So sure, corn's awesome, just in its correct way at the correct time. These alpha beavers have been bedeviling our base for a very, very, very long time. We must go and deal with them if we ever want to have wood again. So, you see that animal over there? Isn't it cute and fluffy? Wouldn't it look even better with an extra hole in its face? This talks a big game and then just misses. Chase this thing down. I don't terribly mind missing animals. The trouble's going to be when it's a raider instead. And Fairness misses over and over again. What's actually Fairness's chance of hitting this thing? Facing into the ends of the earth. From here, chance of hitting is 10%. Good, 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 good. Maybe Mr. Board Game's Wild Spray will win instead. It's gonna be a bit of a waste of the day. Although it's 9 degrees outside. The world's gotten a little bit colder, a little bit quicker than I thought it would. Pardon me. Cool. I'm suddenly remembering back before a viewer very kindly bought me this stream deck. When it was time to sneeze, I would like very quickly Alt-Tab and try to mute the microphone. And I would so often not quite get there in time. And you all would like hear me sneezing. It was very embarrassing. This is the time. Gotta believe, gotta believe. I'm considering just meleeing it so it stopped running away from us. This is getting a little silly. This is getting a little bit silly. Standing way closer than we should be standing. What is the chance? 25%. If it gets hit, there's an 88% chance of it manhunting. Do it. We finally hit it. However, it is big angry. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Dog's helping too. Dog is tanking. Glorious. Mr. Board Games continues blasting along. In the battle days, this would have been a possible friendly fire. This was changed fairly recently. That you can't friendly fire until the character, I believe, is 5 away instead of only 2 away. Because can you imagine if we shot our child in the back of the head? Ooh-wee! A little puppy dog took a little bit of biting there to protect the kiddo. That's just fine. There's one more alpha beaver somewhere here. Way up in the north. We'll deal with that one eventually. Okay. What is Zelion doing today? Training the dog. Oh gosh. Running across the entire map trying to do that. Come back, boy. Come back. I think the dog's trying to go and get to sleep because it's injured. Alright. We have enough food right now that we can again have Zelion get back to growing after all of the other jobs are done. Let's see. Shipashoff, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. I know a lot of people are checking out Rimworld who've not been here in a while. It's awesome to see you fine folks hanging out with us. I do appreciate it a whole bundle. Okay. Yeah, I'm so excited to see all the new stories that are possible in the new expansion. So far our story has been a whole lot of like, run away child, don't die, please don't die. That's going well enough. So these will be available for the goat to eat eventually. It's not a great use of our grower's time, but better than nothing. And then Fair, that's what you're working on. You're getting the steel. Yeah, part of me wants to send an adult and the child out to haul all the steel in at once. Yeah, because dude went to get 9 steel. There's definitely a mod that helps with this, but it's kind of silly that haulers rather, who go out to do construction, only haul back the tiny bit they need instead of bringing the entire stack down and then using what they need and leaving the rest behind. A little bit silly. Before you sleep today, Zelion, I'd like you to get sewing. Because we need more rice. It's one of those cases where you can stack up so very many spots of rice growing, or so many jobs in a row to sow them all. But that's enough for now. All right, end of the 16th day since being here. I feel kind of good about the progress we've made, considering we only have 2 functional colonists. How's the boys' learning need looking? We've been staying around 75% throughout the whole playthrough so far. Someone wants to watch an adult work. This one wants to sky dream. I think they can only watch people work when they have the relevant skill open. So all they can watch right now, I think, is social. Now, I wonder if they can watch someone going hunting. But as right now, I have no one assigned permanently hunting, and I can't really afford that kind of work right now. Need warm clothes. How cold is it going to get in this particular tile? I believe we're relatively near the equator. Is that true? Yeah, it's true. Equator's right here. We're just south of that. Must be some decent elevation. Going down to 16C, assuming this tile is like the one next door. It's not that cold. But as it is 4C right now, apparently it's 4C in the middle of Jugust. Wait, why? We are in the southern hemisphere, so this is the winter. This is about as cold as it's going to get here. We could go ahead and make some clothing. Like maybe toques at least. Possibly parkas also. But not totally sure. Pen animals are hungry. Surely the roses will grow someday, just not quite yet. So we can go ahead and make a little bit of kibble, just to feed to the goat. And for right now, I'm just going to do 1 kibble job, so we don't end up with way too much of it. Kibble can go in the corner here. We'll call it the goat's food bowl. And it's going to be a little higher priority. There it goes. Oh, didn't I have a cargo pod drop of baby food? I know my colonists don't want to eat the baby food, but I suspect the animal would not care. I don't see it though, so it may have degraded, or animals out there may have eaten it already. It's not in the old stockpile, so unfortunately baby food has been lost. We have a quest though if we want to, called Forced Weather for Pay. A machine persona in an orbiting ship wants to perform some planetary experiments. However, if this is done, we'll have a rainy thunderstorm for 10 days. The IRB will only allow this if we consent to it. 1 glitter with medicine, not great. Pain stopper, super fun. However, pain's also pretty useful for avoiding danger. I think what I'm most concerned about with the rainy thunderstorm is the degradation to our ranged character. And so if there's a raid in this period, we'll potentially like end up in a real bad way real fast. We'll see. All right, this shelf becomes shall be raw food. Say. Cool. Solicited asks, why are you twice as worried for a pawn just because they're half-sized? I agree. I am curious, the longer we play this game, the longer we're exposed to the expansion. Will children become just one more part of the base to be dealt with like all the other problems of the base? For right now, at least, though, it does feel profoundly different having a child in the base. I care about it in a way that I tend not to care about colonists, even my starting colonists. It's a weird feeling. And I'm working on a YouTube video that tries to develop these feelings a bit more. Have you ever had a joy wire psychic harmonizer, psychic sensitive pawn? No. I know how this works. If you want to, you can have a character who walks in circles, spreading joy to everyone around them. Like the worst version of this is you then like take the colonist's legs off so it can't move at all and force them to sit in one spot, spreading joy to everybody. Definitely not for me, thanks. But yeah, I haven't done much yet with spreading joy that way. I want to say now, no food is allowed in here. Hope it all gets moved up north. perhaps more attached to the kids because you get to choose how their growth advances. I think that's right? It's like a developed character instead of a random character. That makes sense. Makes sense. Hey, Petrichor. Isn't Petrichor the smell of rain? I think that's right. What's up with this suit? I don't know. It's my shtick. I've been wearing suits on stream for a very, very long time, and I could say, Petrichor, it's just because you're here. I knew you were coming, so I got dressed up. Don't you feel proud? No, I don't know. It's just what I do. I feel comfortable in suits. I want to look attractive for you fine folks. Hope you're having a good day, for sure. Yeah, I should come up with a better answer for that. For years and years and years, people have asked Resorty why the suit. I just don't have a good answer. I was like, where's your suit? You should not bother watching a streamer who won't dress up for you. No, this feels quite right. Thank you. There's a little bit of wood out here I do want to fetch. We're gonna do that. It's my brand. Oh. The brandification of life. I mean, these are words we use. I realize that I am like promoting the Resorty brand, but it feels so gross to talk that way. Why not a suit's a better question? That's a great point. Yeah, I think it should be like the standard streamer outfit. Any streamer who's wearing like, I don't know, a green hoodie, not putting in the real effort they need. I have wondered if my dressing this way makes some viewers uncomfortable, especially the viewers who like work all day in an office. All day I see people in suits. All I want is to come home and see people relaxing. Why is this man wearing a suit? I could get it. This stockpile is only for fancy medicines, or medicines of any kind, actually. That wood moved out of there for sure. That's enough wood to make just about one more door. No, it's not. Big lying time. T-shirts with a suit front pattern would be great Riz merch. So I've never made any Resorty merch at all. Just because it feels too weird to think about. Like, independently of, does it make sense to ask people to give me money for that, or would anyone want it? Just the idea of people walking around with my face, or a picture of my face on their chests, not for me, thanks. Not for me, thanks. So the only Resorty merch is live streams and YouTube videos. Hey, Zeffy, how's it going? Alright, the freezer is coming along. Battery seems good to go so far. We're going to go ahead and dump the temperature down to -9. We'll see how that works once the rooms are made. There's Zelion. I would like you to, when you're done, teach a lesson. Go over here and fetch some more wood parts. And like I said before, we really, really need to get the wood growing started pretty soon. Xander never have worn a suit. Nice, nice. Maybe someday, but if you can avoid... What's that? First finished sentence I was saying. If you can live an entire life avoiding suits, more power to you, my friend. This is new. Is that like, what would it be called? Wood shavings? It's something. I don't know the word for it, but whatever it is, that's pretty cool to see. Because previously your character would just thwack, thwack, thwack at the wood, and the tree would fall over. Now apparently you're able to see sawdust, but sawdust is not quite right, because it's not a saw, it's an axe. Axe dust, maybe? Something like that. No, not the stump. Not the stump. Maybe you can't see. I will try to... I can't zoom in closer, unfortunately, but... As the character cuts, look at like the dust plume that's happening around it. So this is new. What's just above my pointer there. That little burst of brown happening over and over again. I'm nearly certain that was not in the game before this expansion. Now, I might be wrong on that, but nearly certain. Wood chips. Yeah, maybe that's it. Ritual opportunity soon. Our fission. Fission is the name of our religion's dance party. if you weren't here for the creation of this base, you will not know the excellent name we chose for our ideologian. It is the nuclear family, because we're a family who believes in science. And then there was a long cultish story we wrote about how the family has always been here. It's good fun. It's good fun. It's a relatively standard, non-theological, or no, that's not true, pantheistic, rather, ideologian, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Freezer's nearly done. All those doors in place. If I set up a shelf to hold animal bodies, would it hold 6 animal bodies? Can't imagine it would. Maybe it does. Alright, this is already marked as preferred. Important. Okay. I'm actually make this slightly smaller, I think. You think I have when Ideology DLC came out? So it may have. The problem I'm having right now is the most recent long playthrough I had of Rimworld was entirely vanilla. And it was 100% no mods, no DLC. And so that's kind of set my expectations for what's in the game. And I can't remember now what's what. Excuse me? This is unexpected and a little bit delightful. So I was planning to have to march all the way north to eat an alpha beaver. Does that mean it's gotten all of the wood on the map? No. I thought alpha beavers were strongly preferred eating wood. It is the case that their food bar goes down so fast though, so they want to eat anything all the time. We gotta stop this for sure. So, Baronanthus, come forward, my friend. We're gonna stand on the opposite side of the traps here, in hopes of drawing them through, or drawing it through rather. Please don't shoot the boomalope. I believe in you. Hey, we got it. All right. Alpha Beaver's revenging. Will it go through the trap? Will it go through the trap? It did not. However, we do get the dog involved again. Good job, good job, good job. A little bit of scratching on the foot. It's good for the kid. The kid will grow up more resilient because of that. Are corpse shelves possibly the reason for corpse sizes, so large animals can't go on a shelf? That makes a ton of sense. It definitely makes a ton of sense. Long rope is long. Eventually we'll try some rim science and see what happens with the shelves and corpses. Just not quite yet. Need 4 more limestone bricks. Oh, you're done with your horseshoes, my friend. I love seeing the Baronanthus is throwing the horseshoe over the fence there. Feels like a very hang out in the country kind of thing. Board games, are you not set up to patient? Obviously patient and bed rest first. You're but a child, and can't have you bleeding out everywhere. It dies in 16 hours. Can you imagine if I didn't notice that? How genuinely terrible would I feel? Tina Data asks, how's my time? Thank you for that. So I do have to go teach in 24 minutes. Rimworld's definitely a game where I need those reminders, or else I will just stand here and play forever. And that's not good for my my continued employment. So we're gonna need a few more shelves here. This room feels kind of disorganized. I kind of want to put one here and one here. Nope, that's not true. If I put one here, I can't also fit one here. So I'm just going to throw in the corner like that and one like that. That looks awful, never mind. Oh, this is the part where a single size might be very, very good. Yeah, let's put a single sized in the corner there. That's much nicer. And then we put another one there. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This boom up's eating my my tasty, tasty corn. Ah, it's refrigerated because it's 9 degrees outside. All right, as I said before, I did not believe there were actually overly cold in here, but with that temperature, I believe they are getting cold at night. So we'll throw a little heater over here. Mr. Board Games is his first night alone. Luckily, the dog comes to sleep with him. That's very sweet. This is how we know that Manchu is truly a good boy. Currently 8 years old. What is the average animal age of death in this game? Life expectancy is 12 years. So we've got 4 more years. The child growth rate is at 200%. So children gain 2 years for every real year. But in 4 years, Mr. Board Games will gain 8 years. In 8 years, he'll be, unfortunately a teenager. He's likely to have to deal with the death of a beloved dog while still a youngster. But perhaps that kind of age where he'll understand. We'll make sense of it somehow. Okay, as we finish this room, which is happening right now, thankfully, I'm gonna have Fairness move back on to research, I think. The one other thing I could do is put out some defenses, like at least basic defensive walls for us to hide behind while fighting. But I really want to get trees planted, because if we don't, it's very, very annoying to have to keep finding bits of wood. Yeah, let's make some basic defensive walls. If I don't do that, I'm gonna be so unbelievably annoyed with myself when eventually we get attacked. Copy those settings, paste those settings, paste settings. So this spot here is going to be for animal corpses, and we'll see how many get piled up there as time goes by. Also, all the alpha beavers are finally dead. Hooray, hooray. Love to have some elephants eventually. They're one of the more hilarious animals to have on your team. They'd be good for building up our petting zoo also. We'll see. Also, something I want to do in this game that I mentioned when the expansion was first announced, I want to have a prison. Now, I'm not sure if this is the base to do it, but because there are some kinds of characters that will never join your faction because they're hyper loyalty to their own faction, I can imagine being very awkward, just keeping or not keeping characters around, either releasing them or go back to your faction and raid us again, or instead just like killing them straight away. Like, I feel really awful, frankly. So we'll see. I might keep a big prison of colonists or raiders who will not see the light and join us. Let's talk just for a moment about defensive structures here. Eventually we'll probably have like some sort of wall. I probably will not do the kill box thing this time, but one never really knows. So for the moment, I'm just gonna make a little bunker sort of thing. Actually, for the moment, let's do barricades instead, and they'll put some walls in on top of that eventually. It's been such a long time since we actually have done the kill box thing. We also haven't had a base get to endgame in a very long time, so these two may in fact be related. You know, one never knows. One never knows. For a while there, I was doing trap mazes and kill boxes every single base we made, and that ended up feeling a little bit repetitive and not fair play, unfortunately. Okay, I'm trying to lay this out in a way that looks kind of symmetrical and nice for you all. If I go 5 more past that, and put another corner thing over here, what's it look like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corner. 5. Is that nice? On the one hand, it feels nice. On the other hand, this side is not well protected at all. We could have a different embankment. Is that a word for it? I don't know. Different defensive area down this way. Luckily, this sand is fairly firm sand, so we can build stones on top of it. Also, not quite sure why I want to leave these open areas here. Like, that feels like a good way to have colonists or enemies just walk past us. We'll see. We'll definitely put some traps in the middle here, just to hopefully slow the ingress of enemies. This feels sufficiently defensive for the time being. We'll see if it's actually true. An aurora came, the world was beautiful briefly, and now we sit in the dark again. It's also maybe too far away. Definitely from our columns for hanging out to the front wall will take some time. Even more so if they come from this direction, but we'll see. It's flooring here some lovely concrete. Can you rip up concrete? I think you can, but I think it doesn't give you much, if anything, back. Yeah. I'm not going to do that right now, but perhaps later just to make the world look a little bit nicer. If we're going to set up a defensive structure here, I should move all these stones out of the way. Definitely so we're able to not have enemies have easy cover. This is also easy cover for enemies, so we'll want to somehow get rid of that. Probably by mining it out eventually. That's not the right button. And we can at least remove the front end of it with no substantial worries. Cool. Got a quest called Ship to the Stars. The quest has always been with us. Our old friend Charlin Whitestone. Hello, Charlin. Good seeing you. Maybe we'll make use of your ship. Where is it? Oh, it's just around the bend. Oh gosh. We're here. It's on literally the other side of the world, as usual. I don't even see it, but it's somewhere over there. Hello, Lionels. You see chem fuel in a boomalope. Is that an IED? Nope, it's just chem fuel. It's just hanging out right now. Has not been hauled in yet. It may not be in my child's hauling zone. Actually, it is. Just has not been hauled yet. Is the ship event hard-coded to be far away? It is, yeah. I believe when the game first came out, it was possible to have it spawn fairly close to the base, but more recently, it's been very, very far away. Unfortunately, is like meditating, learning his lessons, not doing endless hauling. So these things are probably going to go bad in the field, and we don't want that. So, beloved child is having to do all the cleaning and the hauling. Poor buddy. Poor buddy. I got a quest called the Dusty Nomads. Hello? Hello. Oh no. I see a word in this first sentence that makes me know what I'm going to do before I've even read it. Hello is approaching with a child in tow. They claim to have escaped an organ harvesting operation. Hello begs you for permission to stay at the Cheesy Flower House for 16 days so they can rest and regroup. In return, they offer to work and fight for free during that time. If you make them happy, they may join you. They may also reward you later for helping them, but there's no way to know their true intentions. These refugees belong to no one. You can kill them, you can arrest them, you can make them slaves. Nothing bad will happen to you, other than the immortal stain upon your soul. So we've had some struggles in the past with refugees. We've taken very good care of them and given them fancy guns, and then they've attacked us. However, it's a child. My little heartstrings are being pulled. I'm seeing the kid crying on TV while Sarah McLachlan sings out. We gotta help them. Hello and child, you may stay with us. Surely they came from an organ harvesting factories that are missing organs. Surely. It's a 4-year-old named Lucero. Oh, Lucero hasn't had any training at all. He knows absolutely nothing. Little 4-year-old. And then Alo, are you his papa? No. Oh, you already know Fernanthus though. So Fernanthus and Alo have had a bad experience before. Wait, negative 15 disfigured. Your eye is almost fallen out, Fernanthus. I knew they took a tiny bit of burning from an exploding boom rat, which I forgot exploded. That's a pretty unfortunate burn. Eyes just barely hanging on, largely blackened. People see it and they hate it. All right, Aloe, what kind of person are you? Real smart. can help with the handling also. Some nice things about this character. They take pressure off of the other two people. They can do work that Zelion and Fernandez had to do before. Less great things. Wimp. So definitely, if they get shot even slightly, he will fall over. Furthermore, his melee and shooting skills are as good as the child's. Cool. Cool. We'll see what we can do to help y'all out. For right now, we're going to set you up in the hospital. You two can sleep there. I'll make out of the steel. We don't want to make steel beds anymore. We're instead wanting to make limestone beds. Yeah, furniture. Beds of limestone. Which sounds super comfy. We then change our work queue for the time being. So I'm not going to give them weapons. Except in a raid, I'll give them... I don't have any guns, do I? I have nothing in this base. I can make them some bows and some arrows. We'll see. So Lucero, I'm going to have you learn childcare also. Aloe will not care. Will not take care of people even a little bit. Too bad. Too bad. So it's all on Zelion. Now, because of his increased social skills, our 5-year-old child is better at childcare than anyone else in the base. Good job, buddy. So Aloe, you're going to be a doctor. Everyone helps with firefighting. Children get patienting and bed resting. Aloe is going to take over on the handling job. And you'll help with cleaning. Actually, no. I'm not going to do clean or research or haul, because I want you to just do researching. So we will start getting tree sowing done soon. Is there a self-care toggle for kids like with healing? So I doubt it. I mean, there is a self-tend button, but they will not do doctor work until age 10, 12, something like that. I don't recall exactly how old, but so with 2 children, things should be getting done more quickly. That's pretty nice. They're from the group called the Pact of Himenon. Presumably Himenon is the place from which they escaped, and they made their own little faction out of it. We definitely need some clothes for these folks, so let's set up a tiny little clothing making station. Made out of steel, I guess. We need to get a bunch more steel. And gosh, it can't really fit in here. So I should make a proper crafting room eventually. For now, I'll just make it in the stockpile. Arrow, let's get that done, please. Nice thing. I was planning to have Fernandez go and research for a while. Instead, Fernandez can go back to stone making. Hey, it's a party! The child Lucero, who allegedly is a refugee, allegedly living a terrible, terrible life, says, but we're safe. Let's all get together and have some fun. Oh, that's fine, kiddo. Let's go have a lovely time with our indoor bushes. Good old indoor bushes. Oh, interesting. Despite the fact that Lucero declared the party, they're busy with other learning instead. So will you come to your own party? Also, I realized the dog zone has not been modified in response to the kitchen there. Let me change that before I forget to do so. Dog is not allowed to go. Whoops. We're here instead. Dog is not allowed to go inside the fridge or the kitchen. Might let him into the fridge eventually to help with the hauling, but for now, no. The party's over. So, though the child declared the party, did not get any benefit of the party. Oh, that feels like a weird interaction. I wonder if that's a bug. If I should report it over on the dev Discord. Yeah, maybe. You are marked as a hunter for really no reason. Again, your shooting skill is 0. There's a pair of pants here. Now, I believe I can force visitors to wear pants. Unchangeable clothing. I can force them to wear clothing, but they will not intentionally put it on, I believe. I already got pants on. It's very, very bad quality. So let's go ahead and get those equipped. Now, are you a little happier? You still have ratty apparel on. Your hat's bad quality. I can make you just take that off, correct? Alright, so with your awful hat off, wearing a pair of pants, you're now in good shape. Oh, cool. Happy Youngster stacks. So, board games being happy gave +2. I wonder how far that stacks. But the more children you're taking care of, the more happiness you get. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm actually going to destroy these. We will remake them in a moment. But it's more pressing that we get a bed up and going. Need 45 total blocks. Is that true? We have 20 there. And 21 there. So close, but not quite. All right, buddy. We're going to make a few more little stones. And then get his bed made, because I feel bad to have the child soon sleeping on the ground. Okay. That's all the work for today. Oh boy, friends. End of stream's coming soon. Only a few minutes till I got to go teach pretty soon. I'm really enjoying this playthrough. It's very early days. In some respects, this playthrough feels very similar to most of the ones we've done before. I suspect as the kids get older and start making mechs, that'll be very, very different. Yeah, but just the pressure of having children feels weird. Like that pop-up that said, it's a random refugee. Generally speaking, I want to help refugees. Always do. But having a kid in it feels even more that way. I'm going to feel like a bad human if I send the kids away. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I got a visitor. It's a local butcher. Does the butcher have meat to sell then? Nope. I got some medicine. They have clothes for child. Oh. Alright, the child is not naked. He's wearing a romper. A combined t-shirt and pants size for kids with a snugly built-in undergarment. Little ones love it. That's adorable. That's absolutely adorable. I look forward to wearing having them wear little pants and jackets and ties. But a romper sounds nice. Their park is falling apart. The fission opportunity is upon us. The atoms can have a special celebration. We think about our place in the atomic family of goodness and creation. I'm gonna go make it inside of my dining room, which is awful. All of my rooms are awful right now, correct? Yes, the least awful of the awful rooms is the barracks. So, we'll throw our ritual spot here. I believe we need a campfire also for this one. With what wood, as always. Once more to the trees. Now, I'm curious how Zelion functions for teaching. Will each character throw a I want to be learning right now? And that will constantly make Zelion do more and more and more teaching of social. Lucero has the exact same open abilities here, from shooting and melee to social, and that's it. Now, I don't want to say I'm going to neglect this child because he's not really mine, but we got to make sure we focus on the one who's here with us longer term. But all children deserve love, blah, 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 blah. And other liberal pieties here. Okay, with a whole bunch of cloth. I do want to use that whole bunch of cloth to make clothes, but in the short term, we can use it just to get the medicines and the pemmican. We're fine on food, we don't need pemmican. So, the adorable little shirt. I would like that also. Am I good on time still? 3 minutes to go! 3 minutes to go! I really should set up a timer at the top of the screen, just so we can see the time counting down. When it hits 0, I run away at once. But no, I'm still good for a few minutes. Thank you for your care, though. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate so many of you are deeply invested in making sure I don't get fired from my teaching job. Those are components. Wrong line. We're going to sell 100, 150 of this cloth. Should be good. We have some leather also, though. And the fox fur, we have way too little for anything. That's alright. I'm actually a little surprised that more of you are not trying to get me fired, so I stream more. And next semester I'm teaching in the later afternoon, where here I teach in the late morning. And so I'll be able to stream longer each day. And that should be pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. Hello, Daenerys. How's it going, my friend? Good seeing you today. Tomorrow not a teaching day, though, so tomorrow's stream will be the longer 4 or 5 hour one, which I enjoy. With these additional colonists here, things are actively getting done that never were before. That feels real nice. Yeah, we're about halfway through research of tree sowing. I hope we can get through more than a few research jobs before this guy goes. Ideally, I would love to have solar panels going. I'd love to have, I don't know, be able to make weapons that aren't just bows and arrows. We'll see. I'm really enjoying the new DLC. Yeah, this is our first DLC playthrough. I've only gotten about, I don't know how many hours in this playthrough so far. We can see that over here, can't we? Yeah, only about 3 hours and 45 minutes in the playthrough so far, but it's been nice. It's been really nice, frankly. Yeah, I wonder if anyone's hating the new DLC. Like, definitely Ideology and Royalty felt a little bit like it needed some more development when it first came out. Like, I was like, I'm enjoying it, but I want to see what they do with it. So far on this one, I'm feeling 100% like I'm really having a fun time. Now, as we get into xenohumans, as we get into genetic modification, as we get into mechs, that may change. But for right now, having a great time. Having a really, really good time. We could get another creature for the petting zoo. The petting zoo raises base value with no particularly good reason, but it's for the kids, and so let's do more of those. Ding newbie, you're doing the mech janitor playthrough and having a fun time? Cool, cool. I want to say that potentially they've knocked out of the park this time. Now, as many of you know, I have a very, very low bar for enjoying a game. Always like, oh, somebody worked really hard on this. I'm going to enjoy it. I kind of want to keep the light leather to ensure that we can make dusters and cowboy hats and so on. Which you can make out of clothing, but... Wait, that's right. You can make dusters and cowboy hats out of clothing, not out of cloth, sorry. The lousy old pants will sell. And we have no money. I'm gonna sell some corn. This might be big dumb of me, but I think we'll be alright. So let's sell 75 corn. Not quite enough. Let's sell 100 corn. Almost. 120. 123. I can do math, I swear. Okay. Fine, good. Alright, team, that will do it. Our little base expanded a little bit more. We built shelves. Our base is no longer defective in that way. Surely there are other issues, but we'll deal with those next time. Next time the big goals are to, I don't know. Build some better defenses probably, get some trees planted, maybe dig into the mountain a little bit and see what happens. We'll see. Anyway, thank you for hanging out with me today. New followers, new subs, new lurkers, new conversators, whatever role you play in this stream, I sure do appreciate you coming and hang out with me. We should find somebody to raid host. Someone else playing Rimworld ideally. My friend Fruit Bats is playing. We like Fruit Bats a lot. Long-term friend of the channel is playing this too. So please do pop on over there. Give old Fruit Bats a hello, friends. Enjoy their stream, and I'll be back tomorrow morning, Japan time, with some more content. So again, thank you for being here. You all make this part of life worth living. It's great spending time with you. I look forward to doing it again real soon. Goodbye for now, folks.